Diabetes medications. There are so many. Today we're going to be talking about a very popular class, GLP-1 agonists. You probably know them as Trulicity, Ozempic, Wegovy. These medications, since they've entered the market, have been very popular and quite effective for weight loss as well as diabetes. And that's why they're actually marketed as weight loss medications, probably even more than they are as diabetes medications in some circles. So we're going to be breaking down the pros and the cons of these class of drugs and their effectiveness to help you lose weight and also control your diabetes. But I think the best way to really, analyze if something is effective is to compare it to something else. And so, of course, we're going to be comparing, like we always do, this class of medications with whole food, plant-based diet. The reason why I want to compare it to a whole food plant-based diet is because just recently I was talking to a colleague of mine and telling them how I reversed diabetes with a whole low-fat, whole food plant-based approach. And they looked at me in sincerity and said, well, Lewis, how does that compare? How do you compete with Ozempic and these newer drugs for weight loss and diabetes? So it got me thinking, well, I should make a video and see how the is it competition? Really? Not really. I mean, of course you could use both. You know, it's not one or the other, but it'd be great to compare the two, of course, if you are on the fence and wanted to know the best way to treat your diabetes and the best way to lose weight. But of course you can do both. But let's go ahead and go into the pros and cons. So the main mechanism of action of these drugs is to suppress your appetite and also to slow down the rate in which your stomach empties its contents, making you feel fuller quicker, right? So it increases your satisfaction with meals and helps you to feel full so that you eat less food throughout the day. And it is very effective in doing this. So we're going to skip the science behind it because I just want to go into the facts. So number one, is it effective? You know, can I lose weight in this medication? And absolutely, yes, you can. One study compared diet and exercise with a popular GLP-1 drug, semaglutide. And it took 1,961 adults over 68 weeks and split them into two groups. One group lost 5.7 pounds on average just with diet and exercise. The other group with this wonderful medication lost 28 pounds. Big difference, right? This class of medications has also been shown to have cardiovascular benefits, meaning reducing your risk of heart attacks, strokes, by decreasing your blood pressure, lowering your cholesterol levels. So there are definitely benefits in its protection of the heart. Now, what about diabetes? These medications have been shown to reduce your A1C by as much as 0.8 to 1.6%. So, you know, a modest change, but of course, any change is good. Now, let's talk about the cons or the drawbacks of these medications. Let's start with the first benefit. We noted that you will lose weight with this medication, but studies also show when the medication stops, the weight loss does return. One study of 327 adults over 120 weeks who had lost an original 39.8 pounds, so about 40 pounds lost, when they stopped the medications, gained 25.3 pounds. So there was a net loss of 14.5 pounds. So obviously, you know, when you stop the medication, a lot of the weight that is lost does return. There are also the obvious side effects of this medication, the more common side effects being nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Sometimes it's so bad that people stop this medication pretty quick. There's also side effects like acid reflux because of how the medication works. There's also the less common but more serious side effects like gallbladder disease, pancreatitis, and yes, thyroid cancer, according to some studies. Another big drawback of this medication is the amount of people that actually stop taking it after they've started taking it. One study of 4,791 people with diabetes on this drug stopped the drug in just 1 year. 48% stopped the drug, in just 1 year. And by 2 years, 70% of this group of people had stopped the drug. So, of course, even if a drug is effective, it's not very effective if you're not going to be on it long term, and if when you stop taking it, the weight's going to come back. And the last drawback of this medication is its cost. It is expensive. The US retail price after discounts is $15,600 a year for this medication. So for the price of Wegovy, you can do all of this. You could have a dietitian weekly visit costing about $600 a month. Bag of groceries get for about $500 a month. Gym membership, that's a fancy gym, $80 a month. Vacation money, $120 a month. And if you add that up for a year, that's $15,600 that you could be spending on things that probably work a lot better than this medication like Wegovy. So there you have it, the pros and cons. Now, how does this compare, Lewis, with a low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet? Well, a low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet, believe it or not, has all the benefits of weight loss, diabetes control, even putting you in remission or actual complete reversal, with none of the side effects. None of the side effects. Actually, the only side effects are good side effects. So I think they don't belong in the same conversation if you're going to choose one or the other. But I would say this, it might be wise to do both. There's nothing wrong with starting a medication like a GLP-1 agonist for its initial weight loss benefits, and then, transitioning to a whole food, plant-based diet that you could continue in the long run. Because the reality is, if you really adopt a whole food, plant-based diet, you will feel so good that you'll never want to stop. Unlike medications, which sometimes make you feel bad and make you want to stop. So I encourage, continue the medication if your doctor prescribed it to you, but do not ignore the benefit of a low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet, because it has all the benefits, all the rewards, none of the risks.